Hello, this is Bwana from Bwana.tv, and today I'm going to answer a question from Twitter over here on my screen from JR Blaze. JR Blaze wants to know, I'm sorry for all of that. JR Blaze wants to know, do you ever rent video games? And is it worth the cost considering how long some games can be to play, a la GameFly? So JR Blaze wants to know about renting video games. Well, my history is a little complicated with the subject. Let me just say, I am a big supporter of video game rentals. I've been renting movies and video games since I can remember. I mean, even back when Blockbuster was big and all that stuff. So I am a big proponent of it. Have I ever rented video games? Yes. When I first bought my PS3, when I first bought my Xbox 360, and when I first bought my Nintendo Wii, I was a member of GameFly, and I did rent some games there. I was able to try games to see if I wanted to buy them. And I think that's the answer to your second question. Is it worth the cost considering how long some games can be to play? I don't think renting video games should be a primary mechanism of playing games. I think it's more along the lines of kind of a try and see, basically to see if the game is something you would want to invest in. Because you're right, there are games out there that you would want to have for years at a time. I mean, Halo is an example. A lot of people, Halo for the Xbox 360, Killzone for the PS3, and Resistance Fall of Man. These are games that people play over and 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 over again because it has an online multiplayer component. It's just not you finish the game, you play through it 2 or 3 times, and then you're done. These are games that you would want to hold on to, play and play and play and continue to play. Call of Duty 4 is another one. Call of Duty World at War. These are games that people are going to play years at a time. So I think rentals would really come into play if you wanted to try the game. If you say, okay, I want to get Call of Duty 5. Here's an example. Let me get Call of Duty 5 World at War. See if it's something that I would play over Call of Duty 4. You know, rental is a cheap way to do that, but you really got to be consistent in order to make it a value. You got to do that like twice a month, or 1 to 2 times a month. Otherwise, you're going to be giving them a lot of money that you could be investing elsewhere. And I think that was my issue. I was using GameFly, I was renting a lot of games, and then I went on a dry spell. I wasn't renting games as much as I was before, and I had to cut back on costs. So I had to get rid of GameFly, and now I don't game as much as I used to on my consoles, though I am picking up a little bit more lately. I didn't do it as much as I used to, so I kind of canceled the service. So they're usually pretty lenient on that. They will let you use the service for a few months and then cancel. So I think that's pretty cool. So if you're in a bind for money, but you want to play, let's see, Uncharted multiplayer. Uncharted 2 will be out soon for the PS3. There's going to be a bunch of new games coming out. If you don't have the budget to buy them, now's the time. Here's the new game season. A lot of cool games are coming out. You can rent these video games for a fraction of the cost and still have fun with your friends. So it's kind of a trade-off there. So I do think it's worth it. I have done it. I do think it's worth it. But for those long games, it's I would use rentals as a try and buy type thing, because that's what I did. I rented some games and then I said, okay, this game stinks. I wouldn't play it for more than a couple weeks, so I'm not going to buy it. A lot of people like to get single player games rentals because they just want to get the game, finish it, and then send it back. That's what people do now when they buy games. They'll buy it, finish it, and then sell it to GameSpot. GameStop. I get GameSpot and GameStop because it's the SPOTSTOP dyslexia thing kicking in. But that's what some people do now. So they'll rent a single player game and then they'll finish it. Or some people on the Xbox 360, they just want the achievements. Hey, some people want the gamer points. They'll go out, rent every game out there, get their gamer point score, and send the game back. So that's how some people are. Alright, Jared Blaze, hope I answered your question about rentals. I do agree with it. It is worth the cost, but sometimes your priorities take precedence and you just have to drop it. Alright, this is Bwana from Bwana.tv. Thanks for the question about game rentals.